Morning everyone. Today police are enlisting the Glenunga International High School community to help identify the individual who's been sending threatening emails for almost a year. Today senior officers are addressing Glenunga International High School assemblies, providing teachers and students with information to help identify the individual. Police will be revealing key details in this long-running investigation in the hope that a staff member, student or parent may have information that can assist the investigation. As you would appreciate, this has been a long, complex and challenging investigation, and we'd like to thank the Australian Federal Police who have provided valuable assistance to us. At every step of the investigation, our primary focus has been to ensure the safety of the students and the staff at the school and the wider community, and this remains the case today. I stress we have worked closely with the school community and the Department for Education throughout this investigation, and the details revealed today include information about the person making the threats, their computer use habits, and some images and handwriting that may be recognisable to those who know the individual. We're sharing these details with the school community and the wider public in the hope that someone may know who this person is, or they in fact may know the person. Any information, no matter how small, could be the vital piece of evidence that we need to identify this individual. With the resources we have dedicated to this investigation, I am confident that we can identify the individual, and I'd like to appeal to anyone who knows the person to contact police. I'd also appeal directly to the individual to consider their position, to contact a lawyer and contact police. The key details that police are seeking assistance with are as follows. The individual has used an online alias, and the alias is a name of Brian Cole. The individual has access to a shared computer and had access between the 19th of November 2024 and the 13th of May 2025, and was using the computer most evenings after 9 p.m. The computer has the gaming platform Steam and the game Black Myth Wukong. Between early February 2025 and the 13th of May 2025, the suspect used the computer almost every weeknight and had to wait for others who using the computer to finish using it before they could. Around the 13th of May 2025, it is likely Brian Cole had a change in living circumstances and may have needed to move, which resulted in reduced access to a computer or the computer. Since 13th of May 2025, it is believed Brian Cole has returned to use the computer a number of times, sometimes with gaps of 3 weeks down to weekly, again using the computer only after 9 p.m. on those occasions. In regards to the images that are being released today, there are several distinct images with the suspect's handwriting, which may be recognised by someone either at the school or a member of the public. One image is of a spider incorporated into the Glenunga International High School logo, and another depicting the logo constructed of the spider's broken legs. The third image is of two common pantry condiments, maple syrup and honey, pictured with a handwritten note. The key phrases in the email and the mistakes that are common in the email are as follows. The individual has made recurring spelling and grammar mistakes that someone may recognise. I won't list them all here, but they will be released, and they include spelling the word don't without the apostrophe, and a full list, as I say, will be provided along with the release. If anyone recognises the information, images, keywords or phrases, or they prompt a memory about a person or a person's behaviour, or perhaps the meaning or location of the images, I'd urge them to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 or the website Crime Stoppers SA. You can remain anonymous. I'll hand over to the Minister, then we're happy to take questions.
Thank you, Deputy Commissioner. And as the Minister for Police and the Minister for Education, I support these renewed efforts from SAPOL in terms of what can be done to try to find the person who is making these threats and sending these messages. I understand it has been a very difficult time for the Glenunga International High School community. The way it has been explained to me, though, by SAPOL is that this is the next stage in that investigation, to share some of these details of what has been said by this person with the alias Brian Cole, in the hope that providing that information can elicit some further information from people who might recognise some of those details and be able to share them with SAPOL. Obviously, we have only 2 weeks left of school, a bit less than that now, and Year 12s have finished at the site already, and I understand Year 11s have their last day today. But from my perspective, as both Minister for Police and the Minister for Education, the thing I don't want is for this to be hanging over the school community's head or heads endlessly. We would like to get to a resolution here, find who is doing it so it can be stopped, and we can offer a bit of certainty to the Glenunga International High School community going forward. Happy to take any questions, the Deputy Commissioner or myself.
Do we believe that this Brian Cole is a student or former student of Glenunga?
We have no information to confirm that or rule it in or out. That's why we're seeking to clarify who this person is that uses the alias. Whether they do seem to have some strong links to the school, but it's not certain.
Do we know where the shared computer is?
No, we don't know the location of the shared computer. We just know that it has been used and the timings that it's being used.
Linda, did police have the wrong suspect when they arrested the 18-year-old boy, the one who spent time in jail?
At the time of the arrest, the information was sufficient to arrest. As you would understand, once we make an arrest, the investigation is ongoing. That investigation continued on, and then it was determined at that point that we would withdraw those charges. Obviously, all lines of inquiry are still open to us.
Is he still a suspect?
All lines of inquiry are still open to us. We'll follow the evidence as to where that takes us.
Do you still believe this person's working alone?
We have indications that the person obviously is using the computer. We don't know if they're assisted by anyone or they're supported by anyone, but someone may have some information as to that.
Has there been any recent threats?
No, there hasn't been any recent threats. The investigation's been ongoing for some time, and this is just the next step in the investigation. Nothing has changed in that regard.
Is the ongoing use of the computer of concern?
Well, the computer is the way that the person's communicating, so obviously it's a major line of inquiry for us.
And has there been any other threats to any other businesses apart from this school?
I think in the past, we have alluded to some threats to some events, or events were mentioned. Obviously, every event that we have in South Australia is risk managed. There's appropriate treatment put around all those events depending on the nature of the event and the information that we have.
But any other businesses?
No other information at this point in time.
Despite the threats seemingly have stopped in May, is there still security around the school? What's the process with police in terms of making sure that...
So the security of the school and the students and the teachers and the community have always been at the forefront of our mind, our paramount concern. That hasn't changed. There's been various risk treatments undertaken at the school. Some of it is very obvious in terms of the police security officers. Other risk treatments have been there at different times depending on how we have assessed the situation. But I stress that none of that has changed in recent times. This is just a new phase in the investigation. We were seeking to be more overt and seek the assistance of the public to try and identify the individual.
Is the plan to keep security there until someone's arrested?
So we risk assess continuously with the school and with any event, and we will put appropriate measures in place as we deem them to be at point in time. But as I stressed, nothing has changed in the short term.
So while the threats have stopped, you're still very much concerned that this behaviour could...
We're still concerned to identify this individual because of the impact it's had on the school and the community. So, we don't stop in investigations. We just use different tempo at different times, different investigation strategies.
Does the words there and the kind of phraseology and whatnot, does that indicate someone younger, or do you take anything from...
It's difficult to do this in isolation, so that's why we're seeking the help to try and narrow that down to the individual.
And you speak a lot about the complexity of this investigation. Why is it so complex? And are there federal agencies on this involved? So
this is complex because obviously we're using email communication, so that makes, you've got technology involved. The nature of the information that's coming in. Yes, we have joined up with Australian Federal Police through the Joint Counter-Terrorism Task Force to unlock a range of powers that then brings into the investigation, which we have utilised throughout the investigation. I won't go into those for operational reasons.
Is ASIO involved?
I won't go into other agencies other than the Australian Federal Police.
Are you speaking to students at the school because it is a strong possibility that it might be a student or former student?
And there's a strong possibility that someone may be able to recognise from the language used here or the images something in their mind that they may be able to associate with the person. They may say, I know someone who uses this kind of language, and they'll be able to give us that information, which would give us a line of inquiry.
Have you sat down with the students before and taken statements from possible?
I won't go into the level of investigation before, but we are talking to the students today in a broad sense, in terms of what information some of them may hold without knowing.
There's a lot of references to threats being made. Have any demands been made?
No ransom has been paid, but there have been demands made from time to time, yes.
Since May 13th?
Yes.
Are they large demands or are they...
I won't go into those for operational reasons, the nature of them.
Just on another topic, Bevan Bonham, he was interviewed by a major crime detective.
Sorry, I didn't hear the first part of the question.
Bevan
Yes.
Bonham, he was interviewed by major crime detectives last week. Were they able to get any information out of that interview?
I'll just say that they did meet with Von Arnhem last week, but I won't go into anything further.
And he's still alive as far as you're aware?
As far as I'm aware, yes.